I love how when you stop having resistance to your parents and you actually ask them their opinion
Yeah,
on something, you don't fight with them about them always giving you their opinion. They're going to, because
totally.
they need, that's their worth as a parent. They need to tell the younger generation, like, here's what I've been through, so
Yeah,
that you don't do that. And oftentimes it comes off as like not being heard because
yeah.
communication skills are sketch with parents.
It's
But
been really
eventually,
different. I've never had this experience, and I think that it's probably healing her instead of me always like arguing or fighting. I'm like, hey, mom, what do you think? Because I'm so independent that I don't need her opinion, you know?
yeah,
Unlike my sisters who are older than me and do need her opinion, you know?
letting
But
your,
then also don't take it when she gives it.
exactly. So that's like a codependent relationship and you're
Yeah,
a avoidant relationship. But modeling that solid, like, hey, what do you think? That transformed my relationship to my parents next
yeah.
level. I hear
It's
that.
funny because it really is a healing, and especially for me, like I've been away since I've been away for 20 years from that house. So, I don't need their opinion, so to speak, but there's something in it where I was just like, instead of making the decision and just telling her this is where I'm going next, I was like, hey, what do you like? By the way, is it real? Do you think it's real? Because I can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my research, but my gut's unclear, and hers is equally as strong as mine. So, you know, it's
Honestly,
interesting.
honoring where what our parents gave us and then leaning on that support, I think
Yeah,
oftentimes as individuals were just like, especially if you stepped away from the family game really intensely, which a lot of you guys, if you're psychic or if you're sensitive or if you had to go be the creative in the world or go be the
yeah,
healer, aka same thing, that that we have built up this independence, that we sometimes don't recognize that there is support around us and there is community around us and our ancestors, living and dead, are here for us. We forget that.
yeah,
I'm so glad
yeah.
that you did that.
Yeah, thanks. It's really interesting because I've actually never done it, so it's just this new muscle I don't have. I'm like, hey, what do you think? Like, because I'm clearly very capable of making my own decisions. And like, I have this press trip to Cancun, and my mom is so nervous. She's like, don't drink anything. And, people will put something in your drink. I'm like, Mom, I don't drink. The last thing in the world that a brand new luxury hotel wants on its press trip is to poison someone or for them to get sick. So she doesn't know what a press trip is. So
Oh, mamas.
bless her, bless her. She's like,
That's,
can I come with you? I was like, I thought you hate Mexico.
and then you get to kind of re-educate her around that because mother's
Yeah,
womb. That's why we, because the womb was just really intense, and we were like, no, thank you.
yeah,
You're not going to run my life like you run everybody else's life around you.
yeah.
And
The patriarchy was hardcore in her upbringing. I didn't realize how much, like,
which
even
will sort of denature and kind of mess with the womb space at such a deep level that
yeah,
that's the thing I've had to go back and forth with my mom about. Like, that's
hmm
the patriarchy. That's
yeah,
a codependent pattern with me.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
like, it's got to be relentless. But then I've learned to go to her for other things too. And I'm like, listen, I'm not asking you to save me. I just want to know, like, what would you do when you were in
yeah,
this situation and you were 35?
yeah.
Or what would you do? And then letting my parents just talk. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
I mean, I even had like the conversation about witches, and my mom was like, do you think they're real? And in my head, I'm like, if she only knew I'm a witch, like, she doesn't know. Her little darling identifies as a witch. And I was like, yeah, mom, they were just doulas. They were doulas and apothecaries. That's why they got burned, because they were so powerful and healer, but they were healers. She's like, they were real people. I'm like, yeah,
That's
they're
funny.
still real people.
She doesn't even know it's real.
It's adorable. I mean, because I know that my understanding is that this is through the matrilineal line, and I know my mom's a kitchen witch, no exception, no question. But like, I'm so curious. Like, I was just near Salem, and I'm like, but is my heritage there? I don't think so, because I'm Egyptian.
Mm.
So
Oh,
just ancestral line is there.
we are going to be talking about all the body stuff coming up in the next couple weeks, because we're going to be starting the next round of Essential Psychic Skills all together on Tuesday. So today is going to be kind of a shorter class
Okay, awesome.
because we're going to be just meditating on some of the new moon stuff. Hi, Amberly, by the way. I see you, girl.
Hi, Amberly.
And then I got to go to a thing tonight and be a reader at an event at my work. So I'm going to get you in and get you out and get you to your magic. So let's
Thank
go
you.
ahead. Yeah, it's my pleasure.
I need that today. It's like, oh my God, all these fake listings. Somebody please clarify.
Yeah, you're going to clarify. So go ahead and close your eyes. Take a big, deep breath and just be with your body in present time. Even if you have your eyes open, just be with your body. How does it feel? What does it want? And ask your body, what are you really happy with me about right now? What have you been doing that your body's like, thank you? You're really taking care of me. And now, what's a thing that your body's doing, or I'm sorry, ask your body, what's a thing that you're doing that it's not liking? What's the message from your body about something you need to shift? Now, as I ask you these questions, I can feel all of you. That's the kind of challenge of teaching a group class. And feel each one of your blocks, everybody who's enrolled in class, everybody that's ever been here, anybody that will ever come. I can feel the stress around those questions. And I want you to feel into that too, because we are a community. So feel the stress around wanting to do something good for your body and not being able to find one thing that you're doing that's good. Your mind is moving so fast. We're in the season of Virgo, and today is a Virgo new moon. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is a communication planet. It's the communication planet, really. And that can lend to a lot of mental energy. Fifth chakra, sixth chakra, seventh chakra energy. So if you've been feeling kind of hyperadrenalized, or your mind is moving really fast, monkey-minded, it just goes from one thing to another and you're kind of just on the ride, would you notice that everybody has that aspect of them and that you are part of the whole? And that you might be feeling your own personal version of this and that of the collective if you are a healer. Would you separate out your own mental movement and monkey mind from the collective monkey mind? Just go ahead and make your issues yours and everybody else's their own. One of the visual ways I like to do this is by unplugging my upper chakras from the astral plane or the collective grid. I just sort of see these hose type things or little connections. I bless them and then I cut them. A lot of people, when they cut cords, they use rage and anger, and that is gorgeous. However, when I'm in rage and anger, I'm in the midst of figuring out what I do like and what I don't like. So if I go to cut cords with a bunch of anger, it just the resistance sticks even more. So I like to just bless them and be like, thanks. Thanks for the lessons. Every side of the lesson, thank you. And I'm going to take some space. So would you take some space from the collective in your upper chakras, and would you be number 1 in your 7th, 6th, and 5th? One of the ways we do that as a psychic is to choose colors that excite you, that make you feel settled as a spiritual being, that make you feel powerful and balanced. The upper chakras, all chakras, but the upper chakras especially, like a balanced exchange. In and out, in and out. So choose 3 colors. Fill in your 7th, your 6th, and your 5th. Would you let your beautiful colors swirl and whirl through your 7th and 6th and 5th chakras, clearing out your throat, the center of your head, and the top of your head, your brain. And just really station yourself in those upper chakras. Really love them up, pay attention to them, be present with them as a means of validating you, the individual, amongst the collective. Just take a notice of how your body feels as you're doing this, as you're just splashing around and enjoying your upper chakras. How's your body? Does it feel a little panicky? Maybe a little ungrounded from the 3rd chakra down? Maybe it's totally blissful and loving this. Either way, would you draw your attention with your breath in through your nose, through your throat, deep into your chest, and then push that belly out, pushing down on the pelvic floor with your breath as you go, and then release it. And then again, in through your nose, down through your throat, really filling up your chest, moving the air down into your belly, and really stretching into the pelvic floor with the breath. And then release. We're going to do that a few more times on your own. As you draw in your next breath, would you let it move back behind you into your shoulders, stretching out your shoulders and releasing the grip of anxiety on your shoulders. If you have been taking too much responsibility for everything around you, you will feel it in your shoulders. Now we've stumbled upon a dichotomy, friends, so keep breathing. How much is too much responsibility? Asks Virgo. It's a line we're exploring together. I just made a post today about taking responsibility for the shadow of the groups that we belong in. That's true. We need to start doing that. We need to start taking more responsibility and less responsibility. Where you take less responsibility is here. Liberating yourself in your own practice from the collective work that you do will make you stronger when you go back to the collective work. So if your energy is all in other people's stuff, all in a bunch of topics that you're passionate about, that is amazing. But be sure to pull your energy out of those things right now and just let yourself be in a space of individuation where you don't have to be responsible for the healing of any of those topics. At the same time, knowing that when you come out of this individuation, you will be more potent when you go back to those topics and you are required to be a voice or a presence or a healing in that space because that's your job as a human. So if you've been crafting a brand or a healing practice, like I know both of you guys are, you have big things to give to the world. And on the recording, I know you do too. And you will. But right now, come home. Come back to the source where all of that comes from, your body. Your body. What does your body need from you? And can you give it? So feel that. Ask yourself, can I give this to my body? If there's a block around that, or you feel a funky thing come up, would you use your imagination and see it with your mind's eye? What's that energy? What's the color? What's the texture? And what's the emotional energy of it? What do you notice about it? And make sure as you're looking at it that you're neutral. You're really open-minded. You haven't made your mind up. You're kind of just exploring. You're innocent. Look at the energy of what gets in the way of you giving your body what it needs. Whatever you're seeing, whatever you're tracking with, that's the energy. Trust it. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if you wish it were something else, that's all right. Just notice it. And then I want you to take your strong focus. I want you to choose a color that is very grounding to you today. What does grounding look like to you today? What's the color? I ask you for the color because I want you to work psychically here. We've been going back and forth between body and somatic sensation and then psychic ability. There's a reason why. I'm tying your second and your sixth chakra together so that you can feel as adeptly as you can get neutral and move quickly through the psychic energy. Whee! That's why we practice. So now, don't feel it. Look, what's the color of grounding? And then feel it. How does that color feel to you? Does it feel grounding? And then go back up and see if the color changed. Now in your mind's eye, you definitely don't have to feel this, but your body is welcome to. Would you take that color and imagine your first chakra there at the base of your spine? And would you fill in that chakra with the color of grounding? And then in your mind's eye, will you let that color and watch as this instantaneously happens, that the color will shoot down into the center of the planet and anchor in. What will also happen when you do this is that all your other chakras will open and they'll start to spin. And they'll start to let go of any excess energy that doesn't have to do with your path and your lessons. And we'll start to let go of trauma and drama and upset around those lessons. It'll make room for perspective shifts. It's just going to move out everything that needs to go. So let it go. Breathe. It's reminding me of that video that was going around Facebook that I will share every time I see it. Do you remember that one, the fuck that meditation? It's like, fuck that. Just let it go. Enjoy a moment of reprieve from it all. Become neutral. Be nothingness. Enjoy that. Nothing is an interesting word as you're meditating there. No thing. No thing. No things. Just you. Taking another big, deep belly breath in and allowing your feet chakra to take up space. Let them open. Let them connect down to the planet. I'm celebrating my feet chakra today with some runway shoes that my mom sent me that she found on super sale because she is a Virgo and can figure out a way to get runway Dries Van Noten for $65. I love her. Totally celebrating the Virgo today. Sales, gifting, it's such an earthly thing, such an earthly gift. Virgo won't let me mention shoes without mentioning letting go of things, old stuff, old clothing that no longer fits you for a body that you thought you wanted or are trying to invalidate yourself into having. Shoes that you're not going to wear any longer, that aren't validating to your body. clothes that fit in a way that aren't validating to your body, if you let stuff go that doesn't fully work, you do totally make space for stuff that does. So you might even just want to stretch and breathe into that. Where are you holding on to things that you don't need to hold on to? If you get rid of them, you'll make more space. What are those things? Now notice if you can let go of some of those things. If you get the hint like, hey, this isn't working, what are the chances that you're actually going to let go of it? And let's talk about this for a second. I want to share something with you. When I used to hoard clothes at a different size than I was, it was because it was the one thing that was tying me to my goal. And so it was sort of my taskmaster in a way. It wasn't working, but it was still like how I knew that it was a goal of mine and that I wanted to do it, even if I wasn't doing it the way I wanted to do it. So notice if that's real for you. If this thing that isn't working is just holding space in a really important way for the thing to come in. And if you're utilizing it like that, would you just let it transform? Here's why we do psychic work. Just blow it up. Put that topic, whatever that is that you got from your intuition, put it in a rose, blow it up, put it in a bubble, pop the bubble. Take your time, do that. When you do that, when you destroy, you make room for, and when you release, you make room for the new thing that will work to come in. One of my favorite moments in the spiritual growth process is when I surrender and I just go, I don't know. And it's something I learned when I was Christian, Catholic, growing up. They have a saying in Christianity, let go and let God. And that is still a tool I use to this day. I don't know. Please help me see what I cannot see. Please illuminate this space that I'm having a hard time with. And I will do my part to be open-minded and to step out of the stuff that I'm in. So do your part. Be open. Open up those chakras. Open up your mind. Pull your energy out of shit that isn't working and open to you, to your truth, to your energy, to your next step. Now let's do some aura work before we pop out. Would you imagine a massive gold sun, golden, crystalline, opalescent, all the colors of the spectrum, golden light, including dark and including white. It's just everything, just this blistering golden beauty. And would you turn on the faucet of that and let it shine really brightly? Let it start to burn off everything in your aura that is just fucking bullshit. Let it burn it all away. until you have the truth. Everywhere where you're triangulating yourself against yourself and all the selves are fighting, anywhere you're trying to get out of it, anywhere you're trying to pass the blame or pass the buck, anywhere you're trying to tune it down or hide or numb, it ain't gonna work in the golden light of love. So just surrender. Let this gold sun shine through the layers of your aura, all 12 of them. First through 12, 12 at the edge, first at the most intimate layer right next to your body. And just breathe and receive. So this 12-dimensional golden energy that you're receiving right now, it's no joke. It actually takes a while to be able to integrate something like this into your space. So look at you having it. And would you get really excited about the fact that you've done a lot of work? If you've been in this class, if you've been out in the spiritual world, doing your work for years, pulling your cards, being present with your moon cycle, this is the time to celebrate the work you've done, not flog yourself with what you have yet to do. That punishing energy is a no. Let it go down your grounding cord. Be bold enough to replace that with self-celebration, self-love, and being your own biggest cheerleader. Be bold. Release the self-hatred and the self-loathing and the flogging and the self-trauma. Let it go. This is your cosmic permission. It doesn't get you where you want to go. It's not working. So then you know what you got to do. You just got to detox off of it. Spend a couple weeks really, every time you notice your brain going in that direction, notice that it's going in that direction and then say, nope, delete, nope. Focus on something else or think about a loving thought about yourself. And keep it away from your looks. It's not about your looks. Although if that makes you feel good to really look at yourself and be like, I really appreciate my smile, and that's genuine, then fine. But Virgo is highlighting where we're brilliant healers and very hard workers. And I know all of you are. So that's a good place to start really congratulating yourself. Let that validation start to strengthen the gold in your aura. Notice how it does. And then would you be a channel for gold? Will you open up your aura and open up your chakras and just let that beautiful gold in? Let it shoot down to the center of the earth like you're a little acupuncture point for gold. And you're just shooting it down in there just by your very soaking it up. When you're ready, take a big deep breath. Let your body know that you're going to be coming out of meditation and back into the class space. And when you're ready, come on out. Alrighty. How did it go? Did you guys notice?
Ooh, that was good.
Girl, I had marching orders today.
How very Virgo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was sitting in meditation. I was like, okay, all right.
That was really delicious. I felt like, I don't know if I could say for the first time, but I was like I actually just really felt everything, like I let it be, I let things go, I listened to what my body was saying and it was answering very quickly. And I'm Virgo rising, so I really feel it.
It's tough to bring all that mercurial heady energy of Virgo into the body like it wants. Like it's such a
Like
the
two
way
different languages.
it is, and yet it's telling us it's the same. This is always my thing with mental health. People are like, it's a mind body spirit thing, and it's a mental health issue, and it's in the mind, so it's a chemical imbalance in the mind. I'm like, but the mind is in the body.
Yeah.
Like it's part of the physical form. Your brain is part of your body, and figured out a way to like slice it off, and like from here down you're a body, and from here up you're like this like supercomputer right here, and this is where we stay. So bringing those thoughts and that energy and that mercurial go, go, go into the body really helps any stagnation. I tend to stagnate. I know you feel that the same way. A lot of people that are up here can stagnate because their body's not coming along for the ride. So starting up here and really validating this and then bringing this down in is like, remember that, you guys. If you're too up here, don't try to ground first. That's going to freak you out. You'll be like, oh my God. And you'll spend an hour just trying to get a grounding cord to the center of the earth. So if you just validate that you're up here and just start changing the colors up here and then breathe from here down in, you'll start bringing that energy down through the rest of your chakras. So if you're up here, go with up here. Use your gold sun. See things instead of feeling things. It's fine. And then all of a sudden your body will turn on and you'll get cozy in that space.
I really liked the gold. That was nice.
Yeah.
I don't typically like gold as a color, but it kind of came through as my granny that just passed on. I was like, oh, she's gold? That's cool.
Man, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, right on, people. Do you guys have any questions or any other thoughts? I'm going to wrap you up and send this to everybody. Anything else?
Thank you. That was a really good one.
You're welcome.
They all are. That was a very grounded, Virgo appropriate, really powerful one.
Totally. So these are all a part of you guys' class, and you should come to them. I'm going to be starting I'm not starting. I already did. We have psychic meditation every other Thursday, and those are going to start having themes. So this one is going to be the millennial nervous system, and I'm going to be describing the millennial nervous system and why it's really important to understand it and how to take care of it. So that'll be Thursday night, and then of course we start EPS this Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard. So if you want to review everything, I'm going to be going over just the basics, which is sometimes nice to hear again. Like, here's the function of an aura, here's the function of the chakras. Let's just walk through them. So you'll be getting that class in recorded form, so you don't have to be there if you don't want to, but you're welcome to blow yourself out on psychic work this week. I'm gonna.
I feel like I know what they are, but I always feel so much value in reviewing them. Like, I'll be there.
We go deeper every time too.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, have a beautiful new moon. Lots of love.
Love. Thank you.